Welcome to Lifestyle with D. As always, we discuss matters health. Now, a few weeks ago, we discussed personal hygiene and we were talking about shaving. And joining us again today is Valentine Nyakiere, who will be telling us more about the importance of using panties, something we use every day. And she'll be telling us the importance of how we should take care of them, when and why we should wear them, and when we should wear them,
and what type there
and
are.
what type to, there are so many types apparently. Thank you for joining us on today's show.
Thank you for hosting me.
Yeah,
it's always a pleasure.
It's good to have you again.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how personal hygiene is actually involves a lot that people don't know. There's last time we talked about shaving and we got a lot of feedback from people asking, what requires what you should use again. So today we're talking about panties. So we can start with why and when.
Panties is a topic that is close to my heart. It's close to my heart because for women and even for men, if you have it wrong, then you're going to have very long days. It's like having your armpits wrong,
Yes.
Yeah, because it's the type of clothing that covers the most intimate part of your body.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's very dear to me. The main reason why we use panties is to prevent the vaginal areas, the anal areas from dust and microorganisms in the air. There's a liberated lot of people, women who do not use panties, even when they are wearing skirts. It's not advocated for. I don't advocate for that because you see there are microorganisms in the air and there's a lot of dirt. The way we wash our clothes, if you're using maybe a trouser and you don't have your panty, the way we wash our clothes is not the same way that you're supposed to wash your panty. So you're exposing your intimate areas, your vaginal areas to bleach, because we use bleach on our clothes, we use such kind of stuff. So you are exposing that area to bleach. So after some time you get some sores, a lot of scratching, a lot of rash and such. So the main reason is to prevent from dust and microorganisms, and of course to prevent from exposure of the bleach and all the cleaning materials that we use on our clothes. That's the main reason that we have. It also prevents the outer garments from soiling. Because sometimes we have excretions from the bodily excretions, and you see with the panty there's a layer of protection from the outer garment, so you don't have to have those shame moments.
But there are some people who actually, just decide to just go without during the day. How unsafe is this for them?
It's not
despite,
very safe.
Ruining the other garments.
Yeah, it's not very safe. One, because there's a lot of microorganisms in the air, and you don't want to expose yourself to that. And as we walk along the road, like when I was coming here, there's a lot of dust. There's so
much.
There's actually so much air pollution. You cannot even walk without, unless of course maybe you're in the forest alone or something.
But
still, and I always say the problem is not that one day. The problem is what is caused after consecutive lack of use of these panties. Because at some point, like I always give the illustration with the glass, as you move it towards the edge, it will get to a point where it cannot hold anymore and it will fall. So it's the same thing with the body. It will try and fight the dirt, but it will get to a point where it can't hold it anymore. That is when you get some very weird kinds of diseases and infections. And they don't have necessarily to be STIs.
Okay, before we go to the cleaning and maintenance of the panties, maybe we can first start with what sort of panties that we should wear, the kind of materials that is appropriate for our skins.
That is determined by the reason of the wear. of the wearer of the panty,
Yeah.
because someone might be wearing it for beauty purposes.
Of course.
Yeah, and
To avoid the panty line, many people avoid that.
Yeah. Many people try to avoid that. So some people will use silk because it can show the panty line. But I always say, if you know your size, wear a panty that is your size. It doesn't matter that, people fear to wear a panty that is, called mothers.
Oh yeah, grandmother panties.
Grandmother panties, yeah.
Yes.
But if you accept your body size as it is,
Yeah.
then wear a cotton panty that is your body size. Then you won't have issues with
The panty
panty
line.
line. Yes, you won't have issues with the panty line, because the panty line comes in whereby the panty is stretching too much on the body, so it creates some sort of a line. Yeah, and then also maybe the clothes you're wearing outside are too tight. So you see, on the inside too tight, on the outside too tight. So there has to be a line. Even if you wear a silk, sometimes it will still give you that line.
Yes.
So it's not the silk. I don't advocate for silk because it's not good for the area. You need a cotton panty for that, especially if you're not using a panty liner.
Yeah.
Because once the sweat is released, because we are sweating every day, once the sweat is released, you don't want it rubbing against you, because once it's rubbing against the thighs, there's going to be friction. And that is why you find also, because of wearing, mostly people who wear silk panties, you'll find they complain of black thighs. Because of the friction from the sweat. It's because of that. There are different kinds of panties, and I'll start with the most common nowadays, which is the thong. The thong is just a line that is connecting from the back area to the crotch. Nothing else.
Yes.
There's nothing else. I totally don't advocate for that kind of panty, because where it passes in the middle of the backside, there gets friction, there gets soles. And remember, when that place gets soles, you're going for a long haul. So there is a lot of germs which are passing through that area. So what happens? You have an open sore, and you have some bacteria that are going through there, because it is waste.
Yes.
It is waste that is going through there. So that is why you find most people that use thongs, they'll have rash. They'll also have a lot of scratching down there. They'll also have some infections that come, fungal infections. They keep getting them very often, because of that friction that comes. That is for the thong, and which, let me give you a small history. The white person invented it for sunbathing.
Well,
so that when they lie down, the whole of their backside is exposed to the sun.
Yeah.
That was the
main purpose.
The main purpose.
Clearly, it went out of direction.
It went out of direction, especially here in Africa and in Kenya.
Yes.
And we are misusing it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see them walking in them. No, you'll see them sunbathing in them, but you don't see them walking in them, because the main purpose was, even the way their bikini tops are, they are open.
Yes.
They are meant to expose,
everything,
as
like
much part of their skin as possible to the sun when they are sunbathing.
Yes.
But we adopt, we want to wear it to go to work.
Everyone wants to be like the Mzungu.
Yes. So it's good to know some of these things.
Yes.
So that is the...
But they will argue there is the thong and the bikini. So they'll be like, so what's the use of the bikini?
Now, the bikini is mostly, in my own thinking, was for those who are a bit reserved. For those who are a bit reserved, because they're willing to, with their body. Because even the bikini top, the way it is, it's different from if you have a thong and its top, the way they are totally different. Or if you have a tanga and its top, they're totally different. So there's that. Then there's the hipster panties, and there's the briefs. Now, the hipsters are the normal panties which we buy. They pass along the hip line. They pass along the hip line.
Yes.
Mostly they'll cover the whole area of the buttocks of the back side, and the whole area of the front line. They'll go below the navel, but the brief normally comes up to the navel.
Yeah.
Then there's a new type of panties which people are using to shape their bodies. Yes,
Okay.
which I actually like because they are cotton.
Oh, okay.
I actually like that because they are cotton. I don't use them, but I like the fact that they are cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you find there's those kind. But the best kind of panty you can have is the hipster panty or the brief panty. The brief is especially for those who have a bit of stomach,
Yes.
because it comes up to almost the navel area.
Yes.
But the hipster is a bit lower, is the normal panty that we have. So basically those are the kinds of panties that we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe now we can get into how do we clean them? How do we take care of our panties, to avoid such infection?
I visited a friend, and it was in the evening, and she said, I told her I'd love to take a shower. She was like, I'll beat you to it, I'll take a shower first. So I see she goes for washing powder to the bathroom, and I asked her, oh my dear, why do you need washing powder? Are you trying to bath with washing powder or
You
something?
mean like detergent for
Yeah,
washing
detergent.
clothes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, no, I just use it for the panties. And I'm like, why do you use that for panties?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's easy. I'll just, dip,
Soak them and
soak,
then
dip,
yeah.
shake, and I'm out and rinse, and yeah, I'm good. And I was like, that's a very high level of ignorance.
Okay.
A very, very high level of ignorance.
Yeah.
Because these are innerwears we are talking about.
Yes.
Innerwears, and this should happen even to the bras, although that's a different topic.
Yes.
But for the panty, don't clean it with detergent.
Mm-hmm.
Don't clean it with detergent.
Yeah.
That's the rule number one. Don't use bleach. If your panty is discoloring, it's time to change it.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not use bleach at
Yeah.
all. Use the bar soap.
The normal bar soap.
The normal
Yeah.
bar soap. Then there's this thing we have of, especially people who take a bath with, with a basin.
Mm-hmm.
You've showered, you've finished, so the water that has remained is what you use to clean your panty.
Yeah, it's not cool. Yeah.
You should rinse it with clean water. So wash it with a bar soap, and make sure you rinse it with clean water. That's the rule. If you have to carry an extra bucket with you, if you're not using the shower, then do so. An extra bucket or an extra basin of water will do, but make sure you rinse it with clean water. That's for sure. And this panty, you don't want to hang it inside. You want to air it outside.
Yeah.
Then there's the piling up of panties so that you can clean them later.
Yeah.
No, that's a no.
No.
You need to clean them immediately. Why? Because the body has secretions, and these secretions, after 2 hours, the bacteria starts to multiply.
Okay.
And the same thing for the panties. If you're wearing it and maybe you were having a discharge of salts, after some 2 hours the bacteria starts to multiply. So can you imagine, by the time you remove it, how much the bacteria have multiplied? Your body has been working overtime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we continue,
Yeah.
hold it right there. We'll first take a short break.
Okay.
We'll be right back with more on personal hygiene. Take a short break, and we'll be talking more about how to clean and maintain your panties. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Lifestyle with D. We're talking about personal hygiene and specifically panties. So if you have any feedback, questions, kindly send them on our SMS line to 00058 and at my Twitter handle at @DDMyers. Now we were talking about the cleaning and maintenance of our panties.
Yes.
And you're just telling us how to wash them.
Yeah.
And not hanging them inside.
Yeah.
And someone asked should, despite the whole, washing when you're showering,
Yeah.
can you just go and put them in a washing machine? Because some people are used to that. Washing machine, dump everything with your
Dump
other
them
clothes
No,
as
no.
well. Is that safe? Is that hygienic?
No, it's not safe because, like we've just talked about the detergent.
Yes.
Because the detergent you're using in the washing machine is my problem.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Then the other problem I have is
Yeah.
the clothes that you're going to put it in with.
As well.
Because
you can't just put them by
with the
themselves,
socks,
yes.
you know. You can't put it with the socks, and the
Yeah.
socks have.
Oh, and the socks. You don't have to mention
So
that.
the detergent, and please do not use softener, fabric softener
Oh,
on your panties. Yeah, because these contain some kinds of different kinds of chemicals and bleaches, and they're not good for your skin. The other thing is airing the
when you're
panty.
hanging them, yes.
Yeah, don't hang them inside.
Yeah, but people are afraid that, say you live in those apartment buildings and, you don't have a balcony. Or if you do, probably it's facing the road. There's a lot of dust. Or, I don't know. What is your suggestion?
My suggestion is always very simple. Get a light material, sort of lasso.
Lasso, yeah.
Yeah. With the lasso, you just hang your panty outside and you put the lasso on top. Then you peg it. I'm sure everyone can afford a peg. Of course.
I believe so.
I believe so. It's a shilling on the street somewhere, a peg. Yeah, so you peg it. Even if you don't peg your other clothes, just peg it.
Peg that one, yeah.
Peg it with under the lasso. Because the problem I have with hanging inside the house, one is the dampness.
Yeah.
It dries, but the dampness doesn't
It's
go.
still there.
Yeah. And the dampness, once you remove it from the bathroom where you had hung it, you are going to go and maybe store it in your box or your wardrobe or somewhere else where it continues being damp.
Yes.
And bacteria like damp, dark, and areas.
Yes.
So moist areas, yeah. So you're already giving the bacteria one warm. That area is warm.
Yes.
That area is dark. Now you're giving it the dampness to complete the equation.
Yes. So
what happens? You'll find once in a while someone is saying, "Oh, I have a rash," and it's not taken care of because it's a rash.
Yeah.
Most people don't even take care of it. Then it's grown. Now you're scratching or you've gotten sores. They are open sores. So when they are open sores, remember you're also going for short course. You're also going for long course. You're also secreting, the body is secreting, and we say that there is bacterial multiplication. So they're getting into the open sores.
Yes.
So when they get into the open sores, you know what happens? You get an infection. That is why we see women are having infection after infection, infection after infection. And the problem is not in the infection. The problem is not in your sex life. The problem is in your hygiene. Once you get it into your head that you're supposed to hang it outside, whether the balcony is facing the road or whether the balcony is outside, just hang it and cover it. Don't cover it with a towel. Because the towel again is heavy.
Yeah.
Don't cover it with a towel. Cover it with a lasso, a light lasso that will allow it to dry, and then peg it so that it does not fall down. Because again, if it falls down, you need to rewash it.
Now there are people who, you've heard many people saying we should not sleep with panties. So I think we were taught in primary school that you should not sleep with panties.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. That's what we're told.
Yeah.
But now you can tell us why actually it is not healthy to sleep with your panties.
One, the body needs to breathe, and the best time that the body can breathe is at night, because you see at night you're not as active. You're mostly in bed for about 6-7 hours. You're in bed. That's the best time for the body to breathe. And I'm hoping that this is after you've taken a shower.
A shower, of course.
Yeah, so you're fresh. And there's something I always tell people, a topic for another day, but why we take a shower is because we are using oils and we are
A lot.
sweating.
Yes.
You know, if you didn't use oil, just taking a shower with water would just be fine.
Yeah. But we need soap.
But we need soap
To
because
remove all those
to remove all the oils and
the oils.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so take a shower, then make sure you don't sleep in a panty. If you are on your menses, then you can sleep in your panties. If you are using suppositories, for example, you have a treatment that you're undergoing and
Yeah.
you're using suppositories, then you can sleep in your panties. If you are ovulating, because of the discharge, of course, and the discomfort it may cause you, you can use a panty when you're sleeping. But make sure it's a very, very free and cotton
Yeah.
panty.
Yeah.
Then, which is the other reason? Unless those reason, I don't see whether there is any reason.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's
about
just
it, yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Just about it. Yeah, for the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how often should we replace our panties?
The standard is 3 months. That's I'm assuming that you have not less than 3 panties, so you have some to change.
Yes, of
you know,
course.
like have several panties. Panties are cheap nowadays, so
Yeah.
that you're using one panty at least once a week. Then you can change it in about 3 months. The trick, or what I do is I know when I normally buy a bunch of panties. So you'll actually, when you get it into your system, it will tell you it's now time for you to purchase new panties.
New ones, yes.
Yeah, it will. The system is going to tell you. So when you buy them as a bunch, it's easy for you to change. So you don't have to remember which one did I buy, which one did I buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As much as we want to take care of them, there's the use of panty liners.
Yeah.
Should we use them daily? And what type do you consider the right type?
Panty liners
Yeah.
are the. Let me explain. You know, some people have not heard
Of panty liners, yes.
Panty liners, if you go to the shelf of a supermarket, they are sold next to the sanitary towels.
Yes.
They are normally more in quantity in a box, about 20, while you have maybe 7 or 8 in a box of sanitary towels. So them they are more. Now, they are worn, panty liners are worn to prevent bodily secretions and discharges from the body, you know, to prevent them from soiling clothes or soiling yourself,
Yes.
and also for absorbency, to keep you fresh, because they'll absorb, they can absorb any secretion and may help you to, you know, stay fresh. So that is why we use them. Now, they have to be cotton, that's for sure. You don't have to wear them every day. There are people who have to wear them every day. Like now, if you've recently, like there's some contraceptives, like I know the coil, especially the first few months or the first year or two of the coil before it gets used to the foreign body being in the system, you're going to have a lot of discharge. So you can wear it every day, because you'll have discharge and you might have some micro bleeding.
Yeah.
So you can wear it every day. Again, you don't want these discharges to stick on your system. You want them absorbed, because of the multiplication of bacteria that you want to prevent. So if you are in that category, you can wear them. Again, the other time that you can wear is if you are on your ovulation period, because during that time, most women, a big percentage of women get to discharge a lot. So you can wear them if you are on that time. Then maybe the last days of your menses, you can wear it the last days of your menses. If you're using a tampon, for example, you can wear it, because sometimes the tampon may fill before you know. So to avoid soiling, you can use it if you're using a tampon. So basically those are the times. But unless you're having discharge, you don't have to wear it every day. Some women ask me, but how do I know whether it's cotton? And I tell them, one thing you should always know is, one, those that are cotton, the number one way to know is they are stated on the packaging.
Oh yes.
They state that it's cotton. Those that is not cotton, they don't state which material it is. But you see, people just look, this is pretty. This
Yeah,
is
oh yeah,
pretty.
depending on what it looks
Yeah,
like.
this one is pretty.
Yeah.
No, I saw this one being advertised on. No, 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 no. You need to read the label. You need to read what it's made of. Is it made of cotton? Is it not made of cotton before you choose? Then buying panties, also them, you don't just buy without removing from the wrapper.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
and make sure that before you wear them the first time, you've cleaned them.
exactly.
And we've already talked about how to clean them.
Yes.
So before you wear them, you clean them.
Yeah. Okay, a
Yeah.
lot more we'll be talking about on coming episodes of Lifestyle with D. So thank you very much for joining us. If you have any feedback, kindly send them on our SMS line 0058 and my Twitter handle at Didi Myers.